Well, I'll be damned. This just may be the weirdest premise of all time. Welcome back to the David Fincher series, ladies and gentlemen. I am getting very, very close to having reviewed every single David Fincher film. I'm getting hyped up for the release of Mank on December 4th. I hope you guys all are too. And I'm having a great time rewatching all of his old classics to get me ready for it. Today on the docket is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, starring Brad Pitt in the title role as a man who's aging backwards. I'm sorry, what now? Born under more than unusual circumstances, Benjamin Button, played by Brad Pitt, springs into being as an elderly man in a New Orleans nursing home, and he ages in reverse. God, this is weird. Okay. And 12 years after his birth, he meets Daisy, a child who changes his life. And Daisy flickers in and out of his life as she grows up to be a dancer, played by Cate Blanchett. And though he has all sorts of unusual adventures over the course of his life, it's his relationship with Daisy and the hope that they will come together at the right time that drives Benjamin forward. Alright, I've already gone on and on about how weird I think this film's premise is. But let's start off with the good stuff, because in all honesty, there's a lot to really respect about The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Of course, we gotta start with Fincher's direction, which is impeccable, and honestly, I really respect Fincher for taking a project like this. Certainly a very tame story compared to his previous films that I've reviewed. I think in terms of the technicals, like all other Fincher films, this one passes with flying colors. I mean, the editing is as precise as it gets. You also have a really solid screenplay written by Eric Roth, who also penned Forrest Gump. I mean, you guys already know how top-notch these technicals are. Now, Brad Pitt was nominated for a Golden Statue for Best Actor in this flick, and honestly, it was well-deserved. This is a really, really great performance. It is extremely well-rounded. Pitt definitely understands not only his character's strange given circumstances, but Pitt melds into the movement of certain ages of his character super well. And I think that's why this is such a good performance, because essentially we get a full life evolution from him. Granted, it's ass backwards, but also, the makeup and the visual design of this character, especially in his younger years, it is groundbreaking, almost staggering to look at. And once again, Pitt really melds into that very well. This is a very solid performance. Now, Cate Blanchett plays Daisy in this film, and she's very good also. This character is such a snot-nosed little brat a lot of the time, but I never found myself hating this character because Blanchett herself is so gifted. I mean, all these performers are solid, and this is actually an underratedly stacked cast. You get Taraji P. Henson as Queenie, who essentially is Benjamin Button's mother figure. She's very good in the film. You get Mahershala Ali in one of his earlier roles, and he shows flashes of his greatness here. And Tilda Swinton is also very good with her moments to shine. But as great as these performances are, yeah, this film is way too off the... Wow. Let me just say that a film is only as good as the story it's trying to tell. Now, this is actually based on a short story written by F. Scott Fitzgerald, the man behind The Great Gatsby. I mean, just given whose name is on the original work, it's a big undertaking. But keep in mind I said short story. And this film is very close to the 3-hour mark. Now, compared to a film like Zodiac, where I never really felt that length, it was very fast-paced, I could really feel oh man, I could really feel the time here, guys. And I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record when I say this. While I admire the ballsy move to tell a story like this, yeah, it is very strange. And to me, it's almost distracting how creepy this is when Benjamin comes into this world almost like an old man. And it's like he can become smitten with the little girl. Like, what the heck is that? And then you get the other side of the spectrum once Daisy ages like normal and Brad Pitt is just like a little kid. It's just weird. Now, I mentioned earlier that this screenplay was penned by Eric Roth, who also wrote Forrest Gump. A lot of you who know me personally are well aware that Forrest Gump is actually my favorite film of all time. And this film always makes me wish I was watching Forrest Gump, because there are so many parallels between Forrest Gump and Benjamin Button. Forrest Gump always did these story elements better. You have a lead character with a challenging situation, but the difference is that the story here isn't as investing despite Benjamin's challenges, because the character is so implausible. Seriously, you're taking a guy who ages backwards, and you ground him in reality somehow. You put him on Earth. What the f*** kind of demented thing is this? Now, I get that this is a fantasy type of character, and this is a fantasy story at its core. But if you're gonna do that, create a whole world around him. Don't ground him in our reality. Why do you think the MCU's Thor didn't work in the earlier phases? Because he was brought down to earth and out of his element. Also, Benjamin meets multiple characters along the way who pop in and out of his village of life. Again, very similar to Forrest Gump. But none of these characters here are as interesting as the ones in Forrest Gump. We don't get a Bubba. We don't get a Lieutenant Dan. We don't get a Jenny. Actually, we do, and Jenny is infinitely more interesting. And that's really strange to me because you would think, in a film with a longer runtime as Forrest Gump, that the characters would have at least been more investing. But nope. I mean, take Tilda Swinton, for example. Very, very gifted actress, and I mean, you feel like you're learning stuff about her, and you feel like you're just starting to get invested in her, and then once you feel like you can finally get behind her, zip, she's gone. Vanishes from the movie, never to be seen again. And I'm like, what the heck, man? So, yeah, in my opinion, this movie has a ton of problems. And I realize that there's so many people out there that just adore this movie, and you know what? That's totally fine. Like I said, there's so much to enjoy about The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. But this implausible story and even more unrealistic character just feels so out of place in our element. And to me, that is severely damaging to this film's lasting impact. I'm gonna give The Curious Case of Benjamin Button a B. Despite all of my ranting that I just went through in this video, I genuinely don't hate this movie. I mean, aside from that fucking bizarre story that I've just gone on and on about, but I mean, damn it, those other parts are just so good. Aside from Alien 3, which obviously never counts, this is David Fincher's weakest movie in my eyes. What can I say? They can't all be instant classic, but thank God we got an instant classic up next in this playlist in the social network, so keep your eye out for that review. It should be up on the channel, if not right now, very, very soon. And of course, look out for all my other exciting content hitting the channel very soon, including the continuation of this very series. What did you guys think of Benjamin Button? Do you guys enjoy it? Do you not? What do you guys make of this concept? I would love to hear all of those thoughts down in the comment section down below, and I would love to discuss them with you further. And if you guys enjoyed this video and you guys want to continue discussing cinema and all things entertainment with me, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can. And also, please be sure to leave a thumbs up on this video on your way out. I'd really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Thank you all so much for watching once again. With all that being said, back talk, commence.